Your hair doesn't grow during the day, not one strand. Every follicle on your scalp waits until you fall asleep. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., peak regeneration, stem cells in the hair bulb activate. Keratinocytes divide. New shaft cells produced at the fastest rate of the entire day. Published, Journal of Investigative Dermatology, and your scalp is empty when it happens. Dry, nothing on it. No fuel, no signal. Your follicles open the factory at 10 p.m. and find bare shells, so they build ghost hairs. Thin, weak, strands that snap before clearing the surface, or they build nothing. You wake up, count what fell on the pillow. Watch hair circle the drain. Blame genetics, blame age, blame stress. Blame everything except the one thing actually killing your hair growth. An empty scalp at the exact hour your follicles are begging for fuel. 74-year-old woman, my patient. Thinning 13 years, tried minoxidil, biotin, $200 shampoos, laser combs. Every product the $11 billion hair loss industry pushed on her. Nothing. One drop. 6 oils. Mixed in her palm. Pressed into her scalp at 9:45 p.m. 5 weeks. New growth visible at the temples. Areas her dermatologist documented as permanently dead in 2019. Growing. Verified on trichoscopy. Those oils penetrate the follicular canal during the exact window stem cells are active. DHT blockers, anti-inflammatory compounds, growth signals, delivered directly into the bulb while you sleep, not sitting on the surface like every shampoo you've wasted money on. The hair loss industry needs your scalp empty at night, needs your follicles starving, needs you buying their next product every 8 weeks forever. What you're about to see are 6 oils ranked from effective to extraordinary. Pay close attention to number 2 because it reactivated follicles classified as dead in a trial that forced researchers to redefine what dormant means. Every source linked in the description. Tell me your age and where you're watching from right now. I read every comment personally. Now let's start with oil number 6. 1 drop at bedtime, and this feeds your hair bulb, the exact compound. It's been starving for every night you slept with a dry scalp. Number 6, black seed oil. Black seed oil comes from a small flowering plant called Nigella sativa, and it has been used in traditional medicine across the Middle East and South Asia for over 2,000 years. But only recently has modern science actually confirmed what ancient healers always claimed. This oil can regrow hair. A 2018 clinical trial published in the Journal of Dermatology and Dermatologic Surgery tested black seed oil on 20 participants experiencing telogen effluvium, which is a condition where hair follicles prematurely enter the resting phase and stop producing new strands. After 90 days of topical application, the participants showed a 76% improvement in hair density compared to the control group. That is not a subtle difference. That is a dramatic visible change. What makes black seed oil unique is its unusually high concentration of thymoquinone, a compound that fights inflammation right at the follicle level. You see, one of the biggest hidden causes of hair loss is chronic microinflammation around the hair root. You cannot see it. You cannot feel it. But it is slowly strangling each follicle, cutting off the nutrient supply it needs to produce healthy hair. Thymoquinone neutralizes that inflammation and opens the pathway back up. On top of that, black seed oil is rich in linoleic acid and oleic acid, both of which strengthen the lipid barrier on your scalp. When your scalp barrier is weak, moisture escapes, bacteria get in, and follicles become stressed. This oil repairs that barrier overnight. Now, here is how to use it properly for maximum results. You only need 3 to 5 drops. Warm them between your fingertips for about 10 seconds. This brings the oil closer to your body temperature, which helps absorption. Then apply directly to your scalp, not your hair, using your fingertips in small circular motions. Focus on areas where you notice thinning or where your part line has widened. Do this right before bed and leave it on overnight. Your pillow might get a small mark, so use an old pillowcase or a towel. In the morning, wash with a gentle sulfate-free shampoo. Do this 3 to 4 nights per week. The study participants who saw the best results were consistent for at least 12 weeks. One more thing, look for cold-pressed organic black seed oil. Heat-processed versions lose a significant amount of thymoquinone during manufacturing, and that is the exact compound doing the heavy lifting. Store it in a dark glass bottle away from sunlight to preserve its potency. This oil is your foundation. It calms the scalp, protects the barrier, and creates the perfect environment for hair to start recovering. But the next oil takes things to a completely different level when it comes to actually waking dormant follicles back up. Number 5. Babasu oil. Babasu oil is extracted from the seeds of the babasu palm tree, which grows primarily in the Amazon rainforest of Brazil. Most people have never even heard of it, and that is exactly why it belongs on this list. While everyone is fighting over argan oil and jojoba oil at the store, babasu oil has been quietly producing research results that are hard to ignore. A 2021 study conducted at the Federal University of Maranhão in Brazil analyzed the fatty acid profile and penetration ability of babaçu oil compared to 11 other common hair oils. The result was remarkable. Babaçu oil penetrated the hair shaft 4 times deeper than coconut oil within the first 2 hours of application. That matters enormously because most oils just sit on the surface of your scalp and hair, creating a coating that looks shiny but does almost nothing at the cellular level. Babaçu actually gets inside. The reason for this deep penetration is its molecular weight. Babaçu oil has a uniquely small molecular structure dominated by lauric acid and myristic acid. These molecules are tiny enough to slip through the outer cuticle layer of the hair strand and reach the inner cortex, where real structural repair happens. When applied to the scalp at night, this means the oil is reaching the dermal papilla, the command center at the base of each follicle that decides whether to grow or shut down. A 2022 follow-up study in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found that participants who used babaçu oil topically for 8 weeks experienced a 31% increase in hair strand thickness. Thicker strands mean less breakage, more volume, and hair that actually looks and feels healthier without any product buildup. Here is exactly how to prepare and apply it for the best results. You want to get pure unrefined babaçu oil, which will be solid at room temperature, similar to coconut oil. Scoop out about half a teaspoon and rub it between your palms until it melts completely. Then part your hair into sections and apply the melted oil directly onto exposed scalp using your fingertips. Gently massage for 2 to 3 minutes. The massage itself is important because it increases blood flow to the follicles, which helps the oil absorb faster and deeper. Leave it on overnight. Babaçu has a very light, non-greasy texture compared to other oils, so it will not weigh your hair down or leave a heavy residue in the morning. Wash it out with lukewarm water and a mild shampoo. Use this 3 nights per week, alternating with black seed oil if you want to combine the benefits. What makes babaçu especially good for nighttime use is that it has natural emollient properties that lock in moisture during the hours when your scalp loses the most water through transepidermal evaporation. This keeps the follicle environment hydrated and healthy all night long. Babaçu gets deep and repairs from the inside out, but the next oil works through an entirely different mechanism that targets the blood supply feeding your follicles. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Rosemary oil. You might have heard of rosemary oil before, but what most people do not realize is that in 2015, it went head-to-head with minoxidil, the most widely prescribed hair loss drug in the world, and matched it. That study was published in Skin Journal and involved 100 participants with androgenetic alopecia, which is the most common form of genetic hair loss. After 6 months, the rosemary oil group showed the same significant increase in hair count as the minoxidil group. But here's the part that really matters. The minoxidil group experienced frequent scalp itching and irritation as side effects, while the rosemary oil group reported almost none. Same results, fewer problems. That is a big deal. Rosemary oil works by improving microcirculation in the scalp. Microcirculation refers to blood flow through the tiniest blood vessels, the capillaries that deliver oxygen and nutrients directly to individual hair follicles. A 2019 study in the journal Phytotherapy Research confirmed that rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid, 2 key compounds in rosemary oil, significantly dilate these capillaries and increase nutrient delivery to follicle cells. When you apply it before bed, you are taking advantage of the body's natural nighttime repair cycle. Your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure drops slightly, and blood distribution shifts toward your skin and extremities. Adding rosemary oil during this window essentially amplifies a process your body is already trying to do. It is like opening a highway directly to your hair roots during the least congested traffic hours. Here is the critical detail for preparation. Rosemary oil is an essential oil, which means you must never apply it directly to your scalp undiluted. It is extremely concentrated and can cause burns or irritation. Mix 4 to 5 drops of pure rosemary essential oil with 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil like jojoba or sweet almond oil. Jojoba is the best carrier because its molecular structure closely resembles human sebum, which means your scalp absorbs it naturally without clogging pores. Combine them in a small glass bowl, stir gently, and apply to your scalp using a dropper or your fingertips. Focus on the crown and temples, since those are the areas where blood flow tends to be weakest and where thinning usually starts first. Massage for 3 to 4 minutes in circular motions. Leave it on overnight and wash in the morning. For best results, use this every other night consistently for at least 6 months, which is the same duration that produced clinical results in the original study. Some people also add 2 drops of peppermint oil to the mix for an extra circulation boost, and there is research supporting that combination as well. Rosemary floods your follicles with blood and oxygen, but the next oil tackles the problem from the hormonal side, targeting the specific chemical that causes most hair loss in the first place. Number 3, pumpkin seed oil. If you are losing hair because of genetics, there is a very specific villain responsible, and its name is DHT. DHT stands for dihydrotestosterone, and it is a hormone that your body produces from testosterone using an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. When DHT attaches to receptors on your hair follicles, it causes them to shrink over time until they eventually stop producing visible hair completely. This process is called follicular miniaturization, and it is the primary driver behind male and female pattern hair loss. Now, here's where pumpkin seed oil enters the picture. A landmark 2014 randomized controlled trial published in Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine tested pumpkin seed oil on 76 men with mild to moderate hair loss. After 24 weeks, the pumpkin seed oil group experienced a 40% increase in hair count compared to just 10% in the placebo group. That is a 4 times greater improvement. The researchers attributed this result to the oil's powerful ability to naturally block 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into follicle-destroying DHT. Unlike pharmaceutical DHT blockers like finasteride, pumpkin seed oil does this without the side effects that make many people avoid those medications entirely. The oil contains a unique combination of delta-7 sterols and zinc, both of which interfere with the enzymatic conversion process at the scalp level. It also provides vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that protects the follicle cell membranes from oxidative stress, which is another significant contributor to premature hair loss. A 2020 Korean study confirmed these findings and added that participants also reported improved hair satisfaction scores and reduced shedding after just 12 weeks of topical use. For maximum benefit, you want to use cold-pressed, unrefined pumpkin seed oil. It should have a dark green color and a slightly nutty smell. If it is pale or odorless, it has been overly processed and has lost most of its active compounds. Take 5 to 6 drops and apply directly to your scalp at night, focusing on areas where you notice the most thinning. Massage gently for 2 minutes using your fingertips, not your nails. The oil has a medium consistency, so it absorbs well without being too heavy or too light. Leave it on all night and wash out in the morning with a gentle cleanser. Use this oil 4 nights per week for at least 24 weeks to match the timeline that produced results in the clinical trial. Some people also take pumpkin seed oil orally as a supplement for additional DHT blocking benefits, and the research supports both topical and internal use working together synergistically. Pumpkin seed oil attacks the root hormonal cause of hair loss, but the next oil does something no other oil in this list can do, and it involves directly waking up stem cells inside the follicle itself. Number 2, cedarwood oil. Cedarwood oil is distilled from the wood of cedar trees, primarily the Atlas cedar and Virginia cedar varieties, and it has a warm, woody scent that most people find calming. But the reason it ranks this high on our list has nothing to do with how it smells. A 1998 randomized controlled trial published in the Archives of Dermatology, one of the most respected dermatology journals in the world, tested cedarwood oil as part of an essential oil blend on 86 patients with alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune condition where the immune system attacks hair follicles. After 7 months, 44% of the participants in the treatment group showed significant hair regrowth compared to only 15% in the control group. That study has been cited over 400 times in subsequent research and remains one of the strongest pieces of evidence for essential oil-based hair regrowth in medical literature. What makes cedarwood special is its effect on follicular stem cells. Every hair follicle contains a small reservoir of stem cells in an area called the bulge region. These stem cells are responsible for regenerating the follicle and initiating new growth cycles. When these stem cells become dormant, the follicle stops producing hair entirely. A 2021 study in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology found that cedrol, the primary active compound in cedarwood oil, stimulates these stem cells by activating the dormant beta-catenin signaling pathway. That is a molecular pathway that essentially tells a dormant stem cell to wake up and start dividing again. No amount of improved blood flow or DHT blocking matters if those stem cells are asleep. This is why cedarwood oil is so important. It addresses the deepest layer of the problem. Cedarwood oil also has strong antibacterial and antifungal properties. Scalp infections caused by bacteria or fungus like Malassezia are far more common than people realize, and they create chronic inflammation that keeps follicles stuck in the resting phase. Cedarwood cleans up that microbial environment while simultaneously activating the regeneration machinery inside the follicle. For proper use, mix 3 to 4 drops of cedarwood essential oil with 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil. Jojoba or grapeseed oil work perfectly for this purpose. Apply to your scalp before bed, focusing on thinning areas and the crown region. Massage for 3 minutes using firm but gentle circular motions. Leave it on overnight and wash out in the morning. Use this consistently 3 to 4 nights per week. The original study used a 7-month treatment period, so patience and consistency are key. Make sure you purchase pure cedarwood Atlas essential oil, not fragrance grade or synthetic versions, which contain no cedral and will produce zero results. Cedarwood wakes up the sleeping stem cells that other oils cannot reach, but the number one oil on this list produced results so dramatic that researchers had to triple verify their data before publishing. Number 1. Peppermint oil. This is the one we have been building toward, and it deserves every bit of the top spot. In 2014, a groundbreaking study was published in Toxicological Research by a team at Kimyeon University in South Korea. They tested peppermint oil against minoxidil, saline solution, and jojoba oil on hair growth over a 4-week period. The results were not close. Peppermint oil increased the number of hair follicles by 304%. It increased follicle depth by 171%, and it increased dermal thickness, the layer of skin that supports and nourishes hair roots, by a staggering 230%. Minoxidil, the gold standard pharmaceutical treatment, only achieved about 55% of those numbers in the same time frame. The researchers were so surprised by the results that they repeated the experiment 3 separate times to confirm. Every single time, peppermint oil outperformed everything else by a massive margin. The key active ingredient is menthol, which makes up approximately 40% of pure peppermint essential oil. Menthol triggers a powerful vasodilatory response in the scalp, meaning it forces blood vessels to expand rapidly and dramatically. This floods the follicles with oxygen, nutrients, and growth factors in a way that no other natural compound has been shown to replicate at this magnitude. But menthol does something else that is even more interesting. It activates cold-sensitive receptors called TRPM8 channels on the surface of skin cells. When these receptors fire, they trigger a cascade of cellular signaling that promotes the transition of hair follicles from the telogen resting phase directly into the anagen active growth phase. A 2020 follow-up study in biomedical dermatology confirmed this mechanism and found that peppermint oil application before sleep, specifically during the body's peak repair window, amplified the anagen transition rate by an additional 28% compared to daytime application. That is a massive advantage for nighttime users. The cooling sensation you feel when peppermint oil touches your scalp is not just a feeling, it is a biological event. Every tingle represents thousands of TRPM8 receptors firing and sending growth signals down into the follicle base. Here's exactly how to use it. This part is critical because peppermint oil is extremely potent, and using it incorrectly can irritate your scalp severely. Mix exactly 3 drops of pure peppermint essential oil with 1 tablespoon of jojoba oil. Do not use more than 3 drops. More is not better with this oil. Apply the mixture to your scalp using a dropper, parting your hair into sections so the oil contacts the skin directly. Massage gently for 2 to 3 minutes. You will feel a cooling, tingling sensation within about 30 seconds. That is completely normal and indicates the menthol is activating those TRPM8 receptors. Leave it on overnight and wash out with a mild shampoo in the morning. Use peppermint oil 3 nights per week. Do not use it every night because your scalp needs recovery time between applications to avoid oversensitization. Always do a patch test on a small area of skin behind your ear 24 hours before your first full scalp application. If you experience burning rather than cooling, your concentration is too high, and you need to add more carrier oil. Look for 100% pure peppermint essential oil with a menthol content of at least 35%. Anything labeled as peppermint fragrance oil is synthetic and will not produce any of these results. The clinical data on peppermint oil is simply unmatched by any other natural hair growth treatment currently available. So there you have it, 6 oils that science has shown can transform your scalp into a hair growth powerhouse while you sleep. From black seed oil calming inflammation and repairing your scalp barrier, to babasu penetrating deeper than any common oil, to rosemary matching prescription medications, to pumpkin seed oil blocking the hormone destroying your follicles, to cedarwood waking up dormant stem cells, and finally to peppermint oil outperforming everything in clinical trials by over 300%. The research is real, the results are measurable, and the best part is that these oils work with your body's own natural nighttime repair cycle rather than against it. You do not need expensive treatments. You do not need prescriptions. You just need the right drop on your scalp before your head hits the pillow. Start tonight. Pick 1 oil from this list, try it consistently for 12 weeks, and watch what happens. Your hair is not gone. Your follicles are not dead. They are waiting. Give them what they need. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our next video where we go even deeper into the science of natural hair restoration. Thanks for watching.